Hello students. Previously we discussed about the different types of this movement of plants. That is, one we discussed that growth dependent, another one we discussed that growth independent. So after this we are left with two topics only, that is plant hormone and animal hormones. So first we will be discussing with this plant hormone. We will be starting with this one, and then we will be ending with this plant animal hormone. So what is plant hormone? First we have to understand this term plant hormone. So first we need to know about hormone. Hormone is nothing but some chemical substances which are being released into the bodies of plants and animals. So these are some chemical substances which are released by the different glands or different parts of the body. So plant hormones are also known as phytohormones. So in many areas you may get this by this name. You will be getting the concept of plant hormone by phytohormone. Phyto means plant and hormone means plant hormone. So phytohormone. So plant hormones are also known as phytohormones. So phytohormones are naturally occurring chemical substances. As I have already mentioned that hormones are chemical substances, and phytohormones are nothing but naturally occurring chemical substances. These hormones can be prepared in a laboratory also, but this we are talking about plant hormone. Here we will be discussing only about these naturally occurring chemical substances. And these hormones are naturally occurring, and these are synthesized in one part of the plant body. So these hormones are synthesized or prepared in one part of the plant body and are translocated and are transferred to other parts when required. So whenever any part of the plant is needed, these hormones, so that part from the part of the synthesis, these hormones are being translocated or transferred. So from one part it is in one part it is synthesizing, and from that part it is being translocated to another part where these hormones are required. So this is all about plant hormone. So there are, if you divide the hormones, plant hormones, there are main 5 major types of plant hormones. So what are these 5 major types? There is auxins, gibberellins, cytokinins, abscisic acid, and ethylene. This ethylene is not given in a book. In your book only it is about this 4 is given. So this is also very important. That's why I added. So these are the 5 types of hormone, that is auxins, gibberellin, cytokinin, abscisic acid, and ethylene. These are the 5 types of hormones. If we again divide these 5 types of hormones into 2 groups, we can divide them into 2 main groups, that is growth promoting hormone. In some of them promote the growth on the plant, and some of them stop or inhibit the growth in the plant. So depending upon this category, we can divide the hormones into 2 types. It is growth promoting hormone, that is GPH, or growth inhibiting hormone, that is GIH. So auxin, gibberellin, and cytokinin are growth promoting hormones, and abscisic acid and ethylene are growth inhibiting hormones. So these are the 2 categories of hormones. So if we discuss the functions of these 5 types of hormones, we can know why these 3 are known as growth promoting and why these 2 are known as growth inhibiting. So functions of phytohormones. Auxin first we will be discussing with this auxin. Auxins are produced in the stem, buds, and root tips. So auxins are produced in mainly stem, buds, and root tips. So auxins promote stem elongation, inhibit growth of lateral buds, that is maintain apical dominance. The auxins promote stem elongation, means the length of the stem is elongated with the help of these auxins, means auxin help in this process of this elongation of the stem. Plant is growing, so that growth is regulated by the auxin, and inhibit the growth of lateral buds. In a plant we have a long stem, and from the sides we have some lateral branches, which we can call as lateral buds also. So auxin stops the growth of such lateral buds or such lateral branches. For why? For what purpose this auxin is stopping this lateral stopping this growth of these lateral buds? So it is because to maintain apical dominance. So in plant we one dominance is that, means apical dominance. About this apical dominance you will be getting in higher classes. So apical dominance means plant is growing only towards the tip position, means it is growing only upward. So that is apical dominance. So only to maintain the apical dominance, this auxin is inhibiting the growth of the lateral buds, and they are produced in stem, buds, and root tips. So they are produced in stems, parts and root tips, as they are produced in those regions, they are also present in those regions. So gibberellin. So what is the function of gibberellin? Gibberellins are growth hormones that stimulate cell elongation and cause plant to grow taller. So auxin and gibberellin, kind of their function is kind of similar. So auxin also stimulates cell elongation and cause plants to grow taller. So it helps to the plant to grow taller. So gibberellin also help in seed germination. So some seeds are there which are not germinating. So if gibberellins are there, so that gibberellin will also help in the seed germination of that seed, and elongation of internodes. What is internodes? If you see one coconut tree or any betel nut tree, in that one you will see some nodes are there, some lines are there. So the internode means the space between two nodes. So that elongation of that internodes are also being regulated by these gibberellins. So they are mainly, if we are seeing that these auxin gibberellin are helping in the growth of the plant. So that's why they are kept in the group of growth promoting hormones. Now we will see about cytokinin. So cytokinin promotes cell division. So this one is solely performing the or promoting the division of cell. So cell division is being regulated by the cytokinins. So they are produced in growing areas such as meristems. In class 9 we got that meristems, meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Meristematic tissue means the tissues which are continuously dividing. So they are present in those regions where the meristematic tissues are present. So cytokinin increases cell division. So this cytokinin, if cytokinin is present, they increase the rate of the cell division, which results in the plant growth. If cells are dividing rapidly, means that part of the plant or the whole plant will grow faster, and the formation of shoots and buds. So it also helps in the formation of shoots and buds, because cell division is very occurring in very rapidly, as well as the development of fruits and seeds. So because of the cell division, what happens, fruits and seeds also develop very fast. So this cytokinin plays mainly in the cell division, and indirectly this cell division is related to the plant growth, because if cell division occurs, then only the plant will grow. So these three are promoting that plant growth of the plant in different way. So if you see these two, abscisic acid and ethylene, it is responsible for seed dormancy and also promotes abscission of flowers and fruits. So responsible for seed dormancy. Seed dormancy means if we keep one seed in the ground, so if in this year that condition, that environment or the condition is not favorable to the seed or the for the plant, so that seed will be under the soil for the whole year, and in the next year what will happen, from the seed a new plant will grow if the situation is favorable. So that concept is known as seed dormancy. About seed dormancy you will be getting in higher classes. So if you want to know about seed dormancy in the class, you can ask me, I will explain about seed dormancy. And also promotes abscission of flowers and fruits. So abscisic acid promotes abscission of flowers and fruits, means they promote the flowers and fruits are means for shedding of the or falling from the trees. So that is being regulated by this abscisic acid. So if we see the function of ethylene, so this phytohormone helps in regulating and stimulating the opening of flowers and fruit ripening. So ethylene is regulating and stimulating the opening of flowers. So flowers are opening and closing. So that one is regulated by this ethylene, and it is also responsible for fruit ripening. So once the fruit is raw, so that fruit is getting ripe. So this ethylene is helping in this process of fruit ripening. So these are the different functions. If you see here, the abscisic acid and ethylene are kind of inhibiting the growth of the plant, means they are they are helping in the shedding of flowers and fruits. They are helping in the fruit ripening. So these things are kind of inhibiting or stopping the growth of the plant or the plant parts, and these three are promoting the growth of the plant. So these are the different types of plant hormones we discussed. Then next we will be discussing about the animal hormone. So what is animal hormone? So this same thing, it is a chemical substance which are present, which are being released from one part, and wherever it is needed, it is being translocated or transferred. So different animal hormones and their functions we will be discussing. So in our body we have different glands in our body we have different glands, and these glands are releasing different hormones, and those hormones are regulating some specific functions in our body. So if we come from start from the top, so in the brain we have a hypothalamus, pineal and pituitary. These three glands are present in the brain. So hypothalamus, one in the brain section we have seen hypothalamus. So what is the function, what hormone is being released by this hypothalamus? The hormone is antidiuretic hormone. Antidiuretic hormone. So that hypothalamus is releasing this hormone, and that hormone is regulating fluid balance inside kidneys. So in the kidneys, fluid balance is regulated by this antidiuretic hormone. So another function also there. So antidiuretic, uretic means it is the one word from has derived from the term urine. So it is regulating that urine when and how, when we have to go to this natural call, that is peeing. So that one is regulating by this antidiuretic hormone. Pineal gland, another gland is there in our brain, very small gland, and it releases melatonin hormone. So what is the function of this melatonin? It regulates sleep cycle. Means this melatonin is secreted mostly in the night hours. So more amount of melatonin is being released during the night hours. So that one regulates the sleep cycle, means we feel like sleeping. So that is because of this melatonin hormone, and it is released from the pineal gland. So if we talk about this pituitary gland, it is also present in the brain. We have seen in the diagram of brain. So it releases growth hormone, which is very important, regulate growth of the body. So growth hormone, from the term we can get the idea that growth means something related to the growth. So it regulates the growth of the body. So we are growing, so that growth is regulated by this growth hormone. So if growth hormone is regulated more in amount, one condition develops that is called gigantism. In the giant, like that person will be like giant. And if the growth hormone is regulated, is secreted less in amount, then dwarfism, another condition develops that is called dwarfism. You can search about dwarfism and gigantism. So you can see the pictures. Means gigantism means tall big man, and dwarfism means small short person. So it is because of this growth hormone. So it regulates the growth of the body. Over secretion of growth hormone can lead to gigantism, and less secretion or hyposecretion of growth hormone can lead to dwarfism. So another gland is there, that is thyroid gland, which is present in our neck region behind the Adam's apple. So that thyroxine, it releases thyroxine. So what is the function of this thyroxine? Thyroxine regulates body metabolism. So there are many functions in our body. All these functions are being mainly regulated by this thyroxine. So if there is not enough thyroxine in your body, it can lead to a condition called goiter, Goitre. So that during that condition, what happens? The neck region swells up, it becomes very big. So that is one type of disease which is developed if thyroxine is not proper in amount in your body. So that is why doctors prescribed to eat iodized salt. So we will see in the next part. I have added the question why iodized salt is advisable. So in that one we will be discussing more about this thyroxine. So another hormone is there, that is another gland is there, and there in the stomach we have seen that abdomen region, pancreas. We discussed about pancreas in chapter 6 in this digestion of food. So it releases two types of hormones, that is insulin and glucagon. So in your book I think only about insulin is there, so glucagon is not mentioned. But in 2019 or 18 in HSLC exam this question was asked. So name two hormones which are secreted from pancreas. So it is insulin and glucagon. So their main function is to regulate blood sugar level. In our blood we have sugar. So to regulate the level of that sugar in our blood, these two hormones are acting. So if this blood sugar level is too more in our body, too much, then we develop a condition called diabetes. We know that sugar level increases in our blood. So adrenal gland, another gland is there, which is located above our kidney. We have two kidneys, and at top of the kidney we have this gland that is known as adrenal glands. So in two kidneys, two glands are there. These are adrenal glands. So it releases adrenaline hormone. So what is the function of this adrenaline hormone? It regulates heart rate and blood pressure. So adrenaline regulates the heart rate and blood sugar. If adrenaline is secreted, our heart rate increases and blood pressure also increases. And this adrenaline is not released all the time, means during the stress or during any unfavorable or dangerous situation, this adrenaline is secreted into our blood, and that adrenaline prepares our body for that unfavorable or dangerous situation. So testis, another gland is there, testis. It is present only in male. These testes are present only in male, and ovaries are present only in female. So these are the primary reproductive organs in the male, and these are the primary reproductive organs in female. About this testis and ovaries we will be getting in chapter 8, human reproduction. So testis release this hormone, that is testosterone. So this hormone is released from this testis gland. So this testosterone helps in the development of sperms. So sperm, I think you know, I already mentioned in some of my previous lectures about sperms. So sperm are the male reproductive cell which fuses or fuses with these female eggs and forms zygote, which ultimately develops into a baby. So that sperm development of the sperm is because of this testosterone and male sexual characteristics. So during the puberty, that is from 12 to 14 years, so one period is there, so that is called puberty period. And during that time what happens, so many changes occur, so many characteristics are changed in male body, like voice becomes louder, and some body hairs grow in the body, mustaches, beard. So many changes occur, and that is because of this testosterone. And in female we have this ovary, and from the ovary this estrogen and progesterone are released. So this estrogen and progesterone are mainly for the development of eggs. So in female body egg or ovum is there, that is regulating development of these eggs and ovum are because of this estrogen and progesterone. And in female so many sexual characteristics are there, like during the similarly in puberty period some changes we can see, like body hair grow, some part of the body grow some hairs, and this mammary gland, the chest region, there is breast also becomes little bit increase. So that all the sexual characteristics are regulated by this estrogen and progesterone. So why are some patients of diabetes treated by giving injections of insulin? Very important question. So why the patients of diabetes treated by giving injections of insulin? Yeah, you may have heard that this patient is given with the insulin injection. So why these diabetes patients are treated by giving the injections of insulin? Because diabetes is a disease in which the level of sugar in the blood is too high. So insulin, a hormone secreted by the pancreas, helps in regulating the blood sugar level. This is the reason why diabetic patients are treated by giving injections of insulin. If the sugar level is too high, if we inject the insulin injection, what happens? The sugar level is regulated by this insulin, and that's why this diabetic patients are treated by giving injections of insulin. Another question is the very important question: how does our body respond when adrenaline is secreted into the blood? So adrenaline is a hormone secreted by the adrenal gland in case of any danger or emergency or any kind of stress. It is secreted directly into the blood and is transported to different parts of the body. So it is secreted into the blood, and from that part, from blood, it is transported to different parts of the body. So when secreted in large amounts, it speeds up the heartbeat and supplies more oxygen to the muscles. So when it is secreted in large amount, what happens? It speeds up the heartbeat. And if the heartbeat is faster, what happens? More amount of oxygen will be supplied to the body or the muscles. The breathing rate also increases due to contraction of diaphragm and rib muscles. So if heartbeat is increasing, what happens? More amount of oxygen will be needed by the body, and for this one breathing rate also increases. It also increases the blood pressure. If heartbeat is faster, means blood is going fast, so that one also automatically increase the blood pressure. All these responses enable the body to deal with any stress or emergency. So all these responses are preparing our body to deal with any stress or any dangerous situation. So these are the different functions of different animal hormones. So I hope up to this much clear. If you have any confusion, any doubt, you can ask me. And with this one we have completed this chapter 7, that is control and coordination, and from the next video I will be starting a new chapter. And if you have any confusion, anything in the whole chapter, you can ask me directly. And thank you for watching the video with so much of patience.